Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yep, 13 Love. It's Coremour Luel Bay. Yeah, coming back at you. Yeah, I'm finna go through something that I feel like that is important as well. So, and I'm finna go to like daily prayer. Let's start off with that. Blessed are you, Adonai, forever and ever, for giving us the spirit of Elohim by the spirit of Messiah. And it's a Hebrew. Baraku et Adonai ha me verach la lam vad asher natan lanu et ruach Elohim ben ruach Mashiach. Okay, 13. Okay, and I want to go to something that's in the scriptures that I found that was interesting. Okay, all right, let's go to it. Okay, this Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. It say, Revelation, Zion, Revelation, elevation, chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little cipher, and he set right foot upon the sea, and his left foot upon the earth. Keep in mind. And he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. And when he had cried, seven thunders uttered their voices. And when the seven thunders has uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying upon me, seal up those things which the seven thunders it have uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I have stand upon the sea and upon the earth lift up his hands to heaven, and swore by him that lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the seas and the things which are therein. And there should be time no longer, but in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mysteries of Yah shall be finished, as he has declared to his servants and the prophets. And the voice which I have heard from heaven spoke again, turned me again, and said, go and take the little cipher, which is upon in the hand of the angel which stand upon the sea and the earth. This is the third time it said it. You see 3 times. And I went and I went upon the angel and said upon him, give me the little cipher or little book. And he said, he said, upon me, take it and eat it up, and that shall be, and it shall make your belly bitter, but it shall be in your mouth as sweet as honey, because like the information that's within it, yeah, like you're gonna have to do things to correct yourself, but at the same time it's gonna be sweet because it's gonna be for everlasting knowledge, divine truth. And it say, and I took the little cipher out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said upon me, you must prophesy again amongst many nations, and the nations in tongues and kings. Okay, okay, and I want to go. Okay, let me see. Wait a minute, let me see. And I should never did that. Okay, let me see. Where I put that? No, it's on the screenshots. Okay. No, it's on the camera because I took a picture of it today. Okay. Check this out. And he said like 1 feet was upon the ocean. Was upon like the sea, and 1 feet was upon the land. You see, this is a picture of like the angel that came to bring to bring salvation. For the prophets and the messengers and everything else, like to seal it up, because he brought us our title to our vassal state trust, which we are beneficiaries of, as long as we live our life accordingly and proclaim our nationality, so we can know who and what we are with our bloodlines and with our and what our true forefathers are and mothers are, and our true positions within our true ecclesiastical government, of which we beneficiaries of, as long as we add a fixed L and Bay upon our name, which how showing 75. I already said that we that we have a right to affix the L and Bay on our name, which ties us back to the Moorish society, which ties us back to the Moorish government, which that alone makes us outside of the U.S. Government. That alone, with that title of nobility, that most people don't want to talk about. But like anyway, but yeah, like the angel, like with the salvation, like, and it said like he had a little book. The little book is the Circle 7 Koran. That's the little book, because like some people say like it's the actual Koran, like of Prophet Muhammad, which is not, because like that's a big book. That's a big book. It's not sweet and simple, just like the Circle 7 Quran, and it's a missing tie to the knot of all of the other books that came before. It was like a seal. So like this what the Prophet brought, like our name and our nationality and our salvation and everything, like our distinct identity to us, and our title to our vast estate that we're supposed to be beneficiaries of, but we're supposed to be living our life accordingly. It's supposed to be affixed to our original name that we was actually gave to us by our mothers and our fathers, which our days may be longer upon the earth land, which is saying, let me go back. Exodus 20:12, cause look, check this out, 2012, even like the big brother of the 13th son, he said 2012, like we will see it all, and like, but only if you honor your mothers and your fathers, because like look what it say, okay, this Exodus, Exodus 20, I'm finna read the whole verse, like I always do, but like 20 and verse 1, and Elohim spoke it all things, all of these words, saying, I am Yahuwah Elo Yaka, which have brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other Elohim before me. And Elohim, God, El Alium, Elohim. Before me, it say, you shall not make upon you any graven images or likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down yourself to them nor serve them, for I am Yahuwah Elohim. I am a jealous El. I am a jealous El, and El is God, because like, and that's why we supposed to be affixing El or Bey underneath our name, because like these are names that's close to God and make us close to God, to put us under protection of international and divine law, because these ecclesiastical titles that's already certified in the state records. In the state records as a clean and a pure nation under God's law, but we have to line up divine and national movement. And it say, I am visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And it say, and showing mercy upon thousands of them that love me and guard my commandments. You shall not take it the name of Yahuwah Elohim in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless. It that takes his name in vain. Remember it, the day of the holy Sabbath. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah Elohim. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor a manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made it the heavens, and the earth, it the sea, and all of them, all of that in them, and rested on the 7th day, wherein Yahuwah blessed the day of the Sabbath and hallowed it. 12. Okay, look, 2012. This is not a coincidence. 2012. Honor thy mothers and thy fathers, that your days may be longer upon the land which Yahuwah Elohim gives you. You shall not kill. You shall not, break the wedlock. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witnesses against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's husband, nor his maidservants or his maidservants or his ox or his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. And all that the people saw it, the thunderings and the lightnings and the noises of the sulfur and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said upon Moshe, speak with us, and we will hear, but let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said upon the people, fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near upon the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahuwah said upon Moshe, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. 23. Ye shall not make with me silver of Elohim of silver, neither shall ye make upon you Elohim of gold. Okay, and the altars of earth you shall make upon me. You see, it's an altar of earth you shall make upon me, and you shall sacrifice therein your burnt offerings and your peace offerings and your sheep and your oxen and all other places where I record it in my name. I will come upon you and I will bless you. And if you will make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone. For if you lift it up, your tool upon it, you have polluted it. You know, you see, it say you have polluted it. You say you have polluted it if you make stone out of it or like that. It have to come directly from nature. Have to come directly from nature, the living substance. That's why we don't do burnt offerings no more. We just give living substance like fruits and vegetables to the trees, to the birds, so it can actually bring more life through via the creatures or the creation of the Most High, just like that movie Gods in Egypt. Even though like they whitewashed it, but at the same time it was telling the truth as far as like the signs within nature always come. Speak through the animals and through like all of like the natural events that always happen that people ignore. Okay, so like yeah, and say don't you have polluted it if you lift up stone, your tool upon it, and try to break some or like that, try to create something out of that which has already been made by perfectly by God. So especially okay. Okay, yeah, and that's why I want to go through like where it said, that like in the scriptures, that like the angel, like it was a mighty angel that came, from heaven, descended from heaven, like with his cap on, like which is the face, the womb, which is the enlightened being. Then it said like that he had a little book in his hand, which the woman is humanity, and the little book is the Circle 7 Koran. And like I'm finna go to there too. Let me see. Okay. Okay, let me see. Uh-huh. On this one, like, yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, 13. I hope everything going good in y'all lives, and much appreciation for you listening. Okay, because like some of the so-called, I don't know, like things are simple. It shouldn't be like so complex. Like within everything, like it should be like simplified, and and it is. But like with all of the teachings, since like the prophet like erected the old Canaanite temple in 1913, then like the Holy Temple of Science, then the Moorish Science Temple of America established as a religious organization. That was founded as a Vasa State Trust in County in 1928. Um, like that. That's like a gateway like of like our actual nobility, but at the same time we have to have that within our mind, and that's why like the Noble Drew Ali said, like, if I get you to start thinking again. And that's why like even like all of the messages of the prophets, everybody that came in the past have you to start thinking again, start cleaning yourself up, because some of these so-called Moors and these dirty Moors still eating meat, still doing this with like that, when the prophet wanted us to eat vegetables only. Vegetables and fish with scales only, no meats only. And he said that in they said that in a depth meeting, and Luel put sent that to all of the temples. But some of the the leaders of the temples, or some of the people like that, didn't want wasn't strong enough to leave their beast ways. Came to diverted the movement and made their own splitting groups from the actual original true temples that was established in the times when the prophet was alive, whatever like that, or that's connected to the home office, home room. But most of these people like still in their beast nature, and like yeah, he told people like that was actually like coming out of there, and they didn't know how to actually read. Read. So like that's why the 101s was actually implemented to teach people how to read, because it was so simple that that like even a child like 1 or 2 or whatever like that can actually invocate that because it was simple. It was like question and answers, that you can answer your own questions that as you read them. That connect the dots with other knowledge, or right knowledge. But like anyway, like it say like Yahshua teaches the common people at the springs, tell them how to obtain eternal happiness. In silent meditation, Yahshua sat beside a flowing spring. It was a holy day, and the people of many people of the servant caste were near the place. And Yahshua, the hard drawn lines of the toil of every brow and every hand, there no look of joy in any face. No one of the group could think of anything but toil. And Yahshua spoke to one and said, "Why are you all so sad? Have no happiness in your life?" And the man replied, "We sacredly know the meaning of that word. We toil to live and hope for the nothing else but the toil. And bliss the day when we can seize our toil and lay down and rest in Buddha's city of the dead." And Yahshua's heart was stirred with pity and with love for these poor toilers. And he said, "Toil not, shall not make a person sad. Man shall be happiest with a toil or work or whatever thing that you do. When hope and love are back of toil, then all of the life is filled with joy and peace, and this is heaven. Do you not know that such a heaven is for you?" The man replied, Of heaven we have heard, but then it is so far away, and we must live so many lives before we can reach that place." And Yahshua said, "My brother man, like your thoughts are wrong. Your heaven is not far away. and it is not a place where meets and bounds, and it's not contrary to be reached. It is a state of mind. Okay, so like, don't the Nation of Islam teach that this same thought? Where they get that from? You know, the Quran. But they gonna deny it though. They gonna say, oh, so message to the black man. That's what Elijah Muhammad said. Like, oh, like hell and heaven is a state of mind. And we're like that. No, that came from here. That came from her. That was prepared by Prophet Noah Ali. Anyway, it say Allah never made a heaven for man. He never made a hell. We are creators and we make our own. Never cease to seek for heaven in the sky. Just open up the windows of the heart and be like a flood of light, and a heaven will come and bring a boundless of joy. Then till will be no cruel task. The people was amazed and gathered close to hear this strange young master speak, exploring him to tell them more about the Father God a lot, and in the heaven that man can make on earth, in the boundless joy. And Yahshua spoke a parable. He said, like a certain man possessed a field, the soil was hard and poor. By constant toil, he sacredly could provide enough of food to keep his family from want. One day, a miner who can see beneath the soil and pleasing on his way saw this poor man in his unfruitful field. Okay, and it say he 16. He called the worried toiler and said, "My brother, no, you not. You not that just below the surface of your barren field, rich treasures lie concealed. Your plowed and sow and reap in the sanctity way, and day by day you tread upon a mine of gold and precious stones. The wealth lies not upon the surface of the ground, but if you dig away in rocky soil and delve down deep into the earth, you will need no longer till the soil for naught. The man believed the miner surely knows, and I will find the treasures hidden in the field. And then he dug away the rocky soil, and the deep down down in the earth he found a mine of gold. And Yahshua said, the sons of man are toiling hard on desert plains and burning sand and rocky soil, and doing what the fathers did, not dreaming they can do aught else. Behold, a master come and tells them of hidden wealth, that underneath the rocky soil are cardinal things, or treasures that no man can count. You know, you have to go through the cardinal things in order to go through them treasures, though. And most people don't want to be strong enough to go through it, push them to embarrass and be strong through courage. They want to give up when they come to this knowledge world like that, and like and they come and they present themselves, no matter how firm they is on it, and they still get shut down and they lose faith. Don't be losing your faith, because you have to prove that this is truth beyond a shadow of a doubt, and it can be proven. All you gotta do is just look within your heart and keep your mind as pure and golden. But like when you come to this world like that, you have to have a clear mind and a clear concept of actually law through nature first, through nature laws. Then you can come through through like the actual divine truth and national. But all this stuff have to come in one. It have to be 50-50. It can't be just all spiritual and no physical or like that. It have to be like quad, because like most people don't want to believe that that our life was like that on the planet, like no matter like how how it came to, like it was a physical aspect to it. Like even like the spiritual aspect, like is a physical aspect to it. Like even though like it probably not unseen, but it's still a force that can be seen on a physical level. It's just less it's just less dense. That's it. But like anyway, like I didn't want to go through do that, but okay, okay. And like with that, I want to go through the Moorish literature, because like, and this is a much needed book, man. She like, so like if y'all want to get this book, just hit me up. And I just send you my email, and I get you on it too, man. She like, so you can and I'll send you a copy of it. Yeah, but anyway, cause like these the real like actual like lessons and the words of the prophet, and like some of the books like that is like Moorish literature, like that's actually getting sold by like majority of like these places that like when you come into Moorish science, like they the forefront of like that, like for like the mainstream forefront instead of like the actual real morals or like the real way, like or the real literature that's supposed to be like presented to every Moor that's coming into this, because this stuff is important. Because I just can't, I've been studying Moorish science for like going on 5 years, like and just it came about like Morris and like who I am or whatever like that, going on 6 years. But at the same time, I just found out this this literature like within like the last like 6 months, and that's sad, man. She like getting supposed to be like that. And like even on these sites, like they have like snippets of like this book, but they don't have like the full truth of like what's all up in it. And like, but just hit me up if you wanna get a copy of it, man. But like anyway, I'm finna read like a little bit of it, and so you can see for yourself, you know. All right, you go through the necessary, the text or whatever like that. The readings. They go through like the actual the controversy that was going on, like within the actual ranking files like of that, like and what was actually going on, and like the actual words of it, but word of him. So I want to go through like the other one. Like, wait a minute, take your time, man. I'm finna get out for it too. I always go long. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, I want to read this too. Yeah, there we go. Then I want to read like with the secrets of other creeds revealed. Okay, it's a Ayah 24. Drew Ali in time. Allah has sent us a prophet and sent him in time with a holy message which is divine. He came to let us Asiatics of America know that they are the ancient family of the Moors. His speech was to the Asiatics first. Why? Because they have been sinners since their departures for their forefathers' religion. O sinners, why don't you, hear the soul of Islam ringing in your ears? The Prophet has said that if I was you, I would get ready before you are made to do so. So now pick up your forefathers and foremothers' ancient and divine creed, which carries your national name, which is El Bey Ali Day, but specifically El and Bey. And it would entitle you your rights which you have been denied. So all you gotta do is just affix like El and Bey to the end of your name, and just do your business in that name, and you will get entitled. You will get titled to all your rights when you have been denied. Is that simple? Yes, yeah, it is. Okay, and I'm gonna prove it too. Because in 1774, your lights was cut off from the ancient Moors, and that is why Allah has sent us a prophet in 1886 to prepare the light that was out. In wait a minute. In 1925, the prophet said, "I have mended the broken wires and have connected them with the higher powers. So come on, Asiatics, don't you want to go? We are marching on the cannon. I used to think that there was a city in the sky, but now I know there was a place on earth. Don't you want your share?" Masterpiece of religious 25. Masterpiece of religious literature, secrets of other creeds revealed. The prophet Noble Drew at least has spent many hours preparing the latest editions of the Koran, which will be a masterpiece of religious literature, to Americanize the Oriental ideal of Islam, involving many changes that are more and less negative to the main purpose of Islamic religion. Such changes are carefully considered with um, the ideal to avoid changing the complexion of the original text. The philosophy of the ancient prophets is the main initiative in the contemplation of the Quran. No thoughts of propaganda enter this work, uh, as has been the case of many forms of religious works such as the Bible and other books of the Creed. The sole purpose of the prophet in giving such a message to the world to save fallen humanity. When a compiler attempts to inject propaganda in a work of his kind, there arises a need to cover the true text in order to prevent a clash with the truth and ideas involved such propaganda. Further works of this kind have either hindered or helped the nations proportionally related to the hindrance to the truth as to the original purpose of keeping the ignorant in a such state. It is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. You know, a whole lot of people is going to use like the Moorish Temple of America for gain, and that's what they did, because they already know the process was so simple that most people want the benefit from the process and sell it in packages, and how people give up their whole their life and their life savings just to get their stuff straight, when this stuff supposed to be like so simple, and adjustments supposed to come so simple when coming back into the empire. But it's necessary steps and necessary things you got to do, because you have three names. And I'm going to go back to that too, because because where it say, because you have three names, your name that you gave yourself, which is the name that you got that you gave yourself when you come into like a certain level of consciousness or knowledge, and like you got spiritually inclining with like that, to that, like you gave yourself this name. Then but you have your free national name, which is said that your free national name. Your free national name, what is that? Your free national name is the free name that you was born with, that your mom and dad gave you from birth, which is honoring your mothers and your fathers, that your days may be longer upon the earthland. You just affix a L or a Bey at the end of that name, and that's your free national name. Then you have your legal estate, which is your all caps name without the Bey. But once you correct it, it become a free national estate, which you the executor of that. But there's certain steps. But you have to get clear first, like with the literature. But anyway, like it's a formal works of this kind has either hindered or helped nations of proportionally to the hindrance of the truth as the original purpose of keeping it in the state. It is hard to resist the temptation for gain. Hence, many of the former treaties or works of this kind has been the means to foster ideals of the unscrupulous, wherein they desire to use religious influence for gain. The many secrets known to the prophet that could be used for salvation of the nations were either left out or colored to an index that their meaning was made void. You see, it was people that use like the so-called like religious concept, like the religious belief, which not deal with actual facts that's proven by law and law literature, because they ain't lining up, and they clouded it. Like, and these was like these folk preachers and everything like that, and he was talking about like these same people like during that time, like was trying to divert the movement during that time, and it's the same thing that's happening now. It's the many secrets known to the prophet that could be used for salvation of the nation were either left out or colored to the instant main meaning was void. Such is not the case with this edition of the Quran. All of the secrets of this age known to man are put into this work. The secrets known only to the Magi are here revealed. The readings of the stories, the interpretation of marriage relations, the understanding, understanding, and overstanding of the span in life, and other such as has been kept from the Occidental world, or this book broadly forward out. Boldly brought out. So this is the seal that it was talking about in that Revelation chapter 10 that I was showing you. It say the Quran, Americanized as it would be, can be brought in a few weeks. It will be sent to all of the governors. You see, in Americanized, when it say that, like it was talking about like the actual land, because like it was talking about like the actual the land that we stand on, like the pride and the actual luxuries of like this empire that's over here, North, Central, and South America. That's the pride of that. And that's what it ain't talking about the U.S. corporation that's only in Washington, D.C. only. And that's bankrupt. And it's deceased as it is. Okay. I'm finna go to like this other one, but then I'm finna go to like the bylaws, then I'm finna get out. Oh snap. My bad. That's the deep tongues. Okay, that's where I was at first. Okay. Hope everybody doing good. 13:13. Okay. All right, this is what I was talking about. When it say like 43, to the head of all temples. This this from Eliel, the supreme grand sheik. That was appointed by Noble Ali in flesh. And it say Islam. There are crucial moments, and all Muslims are required to follow instructions. Okay, what it say? It say all Muslims are required to follow the instructions. During the life of our prophet, he told us many things, but there was many things that he said he couldn't tell. But we would know after a while. Since he passed, he left his son who would guide you. And now, of course, the prophet laws are upright. Are all right, but there are plenty he couldn't write or put in book form. So someone had to tell you. Now, some are going to believe it and some are not. But now, because they already know how people is, man. Our people ignorant, bro. Like, they stiff naked, man. You tell them something like they still ain't gonna believe it, man. Cause like, cause since it wasn't like all actually direct, then if it was directly put out like that, like they still wouldn't change their ways like totally like that. But like they already know, like it was you get into your divine national state, then like from you clearing your heads. Knowing that you're not Negro, black, color, then you can correct your eating habit because like you already know, like it was reversed. But now, like it's a stage that like now, like we already know, like these certain things. Now we have to clean our own bodies up, cause like look what it say. It say since he passed, he left his son who would guide you. Now, of course, the prophet laws of all right, but there are plenty he couldn't write or put in book form. So someone had to tell you. Now, some of you are going to believe it, and some are not. But now let me say to you as a brother, we loves Israel. So he's saying we his Israelites. So like all the people that saying, oh, like they Hebrew Israelites, but not Moorish Americans. She like like Moorish American, like we cool with like we cool with everybody because we already know like more science all that stuff come from more science. Exactly, man. It comes from the actual civilization, man, that we set up. And it say in a depth last night we were told not to eat meat, but to eat anything in a fish line with scales on it. That leaves out cat and eel. Eat fish and vegetables, etc., but no meat of any kind or any strong drinks until further notice. Please do not do anything for you any of these things until you hear from the grand body. Peace, your brother in Islam, immediately Grand Sheik. So he said like don't eat nothing, no meat, but eat anything in a fish line. So while these more still eating meats and still eating catfish and all this other stuff, pork chops and all this stuff that we was told not to eat, like in a good book, in the Torah, and you like in the Quran, and like in the actual Koran, like in other books. We have to keep our body pure as water. Why you think like Noble Ali said that? We have to keep our body as our hearts pure and clean as water. Why is that? Let me see. I think I already have this in here. Okay. Okay. It say the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Okay. Okay. Act 6. I want to go to like where like he pointed right here, like he pointed, like his hand like over his heart, but like where he pointed at Act 6, cause this one is somehow the most important, man. Cause where it say Act 6, it say with us all members must proclaim their nationality. So it ain't saying like you have to go to the temple to proclaim your nationality. It just said like in order to be a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you have to proclaim your nationality. Eventually, you gonna have to proclaim your nationality like to the world, man. And it say, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and partial of this said government. And it ain't talking about like the actual United States corporation. No, I ain't talking about that. It was talking about the ecclesiastical government of which this constitution this bylaw is derived from, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is the ecclesiastical government that's already filed. And it say, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these are names was given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasting until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era in time now. The new era in time is the human rights era. The human rights era, which is the rights of this people, the Declaration of Human Rights, the rights of a child. We can use this in order to get everything reflected. But like, look what it say afterwards. And it say, this is a new era in time now, and all men must proclaim their free national name. And like, look what I said, like in the past, what I said about like the free national name. Your original name that you was born with the L or the Bay added, which one that you resonate with the most, and it say, and all men must now proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. So if the government in which you live don't recognize you as a Moorish American national, which the Texas state in the Senate already put out a proclamation, and all of the state proclamations already in the Moorish American Read already told you about who the Moors are. So these self-authenticating documents that you can use to get everything reflective of who you are, in private self and in mind, like so you can be federally protected, so you can line up with law. Then so you can get all of like your rights that was granted to you by your creator, well, like that, but you have to line up, and it ain't gonna come to you until. And like, check this out. And it's this is the reason why, like, a God, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabit the north, western, and southwest shores of Africa. And it's, look at it. And it's look, like he pointed this way. Look, 6, 7. 6, 7. 6 plus 7, that's 13. 13 is death and rebirth. So, like, yeah, look. Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, you have to like this, like, look, like it say like the 6. I mean, the 6 is the 6. You say you crushed that, like you learned about your nationality and birthright, so like that, then you proclaim who you are. But at the same time, in order to further your fate, it say all members must 7. All members must promptly pretend. I mean, wait a minute, my bad. Excuse me. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all unlifting acts of the Moorish Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Temple of America. Then you are entitled the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. I mean, husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey and take care of your wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children, and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey the mothers and fathers and must be industrious and become a part of the uplifting acts of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Ali, through the guidance of the Father God and Allah, and Mother, So check this out, man. Like, that's the rebirthing stage, man. Like 7, 6, that's 13. And like this, and this the main thing, man. That's why he pointed to this. That's why he pointed to both of these, because like this is important, man. Like all of this is actually add up. That's why like they all equals to 7, which is relating to your 7 main chakras that you're supposed to get straight within yourself. But like it said, like all Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. That's the mind, that's the heart, that's how you can get into your kingdom. You have to you must keep your hearts and your minds, keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. So he's telling you to be healthy, and that's how you reach to your 7th chakra or your kingdom, or like your crown chakra or like that. But like these all like it's like the planes that you're supposed to go through that people don't want to talk about, like whatever. But like some of the adepts, like supposed to. Like talking about like everything don't supposed to be told, and that's right. Some people don't supposed to know certain things, but at the same time, we're in a state of emergency. Like back then, like it's different than like now. This supposed to be like public knowledge. But like anyway, like let me go back to um, yo 13 love to Taj for compiling this, man. Like I want to get the certified of the actual registration number of the AA222 foreign consular course. Cause say we have a right to like with these numbers or like that are certified by the Department of Justice, we have a right to actually use this and get everything reflected with these with the documents that they issue of our nationality as Moorish American nationals, and therefore put us in the actual jurisdiction of and the protections of the actual government, not enemies combatants of it, and make us foreign diplomats of it, or connected to the empire, whatever like that, but treaty relations with the United States because we have that treaty. And this the code, man. I mean, not the code, but this the number. But go check this out. I don't want to read all this, and I don't want to keep it too long because like I'm already like at 46 minutes. But 13 love to everybody, man. Like I hope that provided something like that y'all can that I can work with, like with my communication of it. Then like then just yeah. But like it's gonna be like different videos like this that I'm gonna go through as well, like to get myself clear about like how everything is and how everything supposed to be, like within like your state, man, and how everything supposed to be like rocking because they're supposed to be like let me see, yeah, because they're supposed to be like that complex to the point that you know supposed to be that complex to the point that you spend as numerous of amount of fee out of it like that just to get your stuff straight. Because they don't supposed to be like that. Just like this, man. Like this is the most important document too. Like after you get your stuff hooked up with your estate, once you redeem your name, you know, like you put I am not it. You is not that all caps name estate. But with your true identity with the Bey or the L added, you're a living man, non-belligerent, non-combatant, because it puts you on the land and it puts you in amity, beneficial and registered owner of that estate, doing business as Coriolis Cobb-Bey. And I'm gonna change it because it's supposed to be Coriolis Cobb-Bey because that's the new identity in Coriolis Cobb. And most people talking about like in Coriolis Cobb-Bey and Koremour Luel. And like just because it's in all caps don't mean that that it's still like yes, it's a actual public entity, but at the same time like it's in a different standing and a status because it got a title of nobility now. And since it got a title of nobility, that means it falls out of the jurisdiction of the United States via HaShem Resolution 75 and Title 28, which said our title nobility. The United States cannot grant titles of nobility to anybody. So since we have a title of nobility and we getting everything corrected with a title of nobility, so it can reflect, and they didn't grant it, that means like we granted it by we redeemed it ourselves, and which it was given to us by like the God, mother, father, like Allah, HaShem, big on my mama, or whatever like that. That translation in flesh or like that, and brought us a prophet messenger. Then like with these attributes and titles, nobility to L and Bay, like put us on a different strata and a higher citizenship that we're supposed to be working in, like as diplomats or like they're working like as government to government, dealing with House Joint Resolution 331, and said they have a government to government relationship with us, with the Moors, with the Moorish Americans, Al Moricanos Estados. But like yeah. But shoot, like for this document or like that, Like, I'll let it go for a small donation or like that. But just hit me up, and I'll let you know. Alright, 13 love. And I hope everything go well with you. And I hope you got something out of this, like with your time spent with watching and listening to it. But like I want to go through one more thing, man. Okay. This the time she like after Noble Ali. I mean Emiliel. Like there was a whole lot of controversy going on in the movement and what like that. Wait a minute. Let me see. There was a whole lot of stuff going on in the movement, and people was disloyal to it because they already know like what was actually going on and what was actually repatriating back to our own government. And that's why like when Noah Ali filed that stuff in 1928, 28 and 1933, like the government went bankrupt. The U.S. government went bankrupt because everything, because he put on the whole Moorish empire into that vast estate trust, man. But like anyway, and they knew like what he was doing. But anyway, and that's why they tried to take him out of well like that. But anyway, I wanted to read this and I'm out. And it say March the 11th, 1929. It say Brother Cobb-Bey, the governor and chief head of the temple in Princeton, Pennsylvania, Brother Charles Bey, governor and head chief of the temple in Cleveland, Ohio. These two brothers are empowered by the prophet to investigate business, etc. under to investigate business of Temple Number 4 in Detroit, Michigan, because Lomax Bey has violated all divine laws of the prophet, even before the prophet's face. Because he got bought out. February the 15th, 1929. He claims that the prophet has no more power and the finance from Detroit would be in his charge. He wouldn't send any to the prophet, you see? Our own people. He yelled with a loud voice, "Look at me, I will guide you. This is lawful and living evidence spoken before 1,500 people, and the prophet was also present. The prophet declares his office vacant in the name of Grand Governor discharged." So like after that, he was no longer Grand Governor. He say he only can be a member according to the law, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is a divine organization. Each temple is under supreme guidance of the prophet. But it say when man fails after being placed head of the temple by the prophet of Oban or divine. When man fails after being placed head of the temple by the prophet of Oban, divine laws and constitution, he is a traitor and enemy of the divine creed and unloyal to the national government, U.S.A. Wow. To which the movement is to make men and women better citizens. Co-they citizens of the U.S.A., which is the United States of America and Congress assemble, the Republic, which is the nation states in the continental United States that's already here, because the states are still sovereign. Because the states already know who their nationals are. We just have to proclaim to be recognized by the government in which we live. Islam. 13 love. And I leave that with that. I am Koremour Luel Bey. My free national name is Cobb-Bey, Corey Alex, or Corey Alex Cobb-Bey. 13. I love y'all, and I'm good, and I'm happy to share this with y'all. And just hit me up if you want this document or whatever. And if you want like the other documents or like that through small zakat. But like this one is free. But like the other ones, or like them other templates and stuff like that, yeah, that's through zakat donation. All right, but 13 love.